If you're looking for professional day trading education and high-level trade analysis and dissection, you have come to the right place. My name is Pat Mitchell. I've been a professional day trader for the past 11 years, and I'm here to bring you exactly that. Professional day trading education, all here for free on YouTube and on X. And tonight, we're going to go over 2 trades, and I'm going to show you exactly why strategy wins every single time. So let's rock and roll. I hope you guys all had a wonderful day. Give me 1 sec. Just going to fire up these charts. Okay, let's rock and roll. Well, like I said, I hope you all had a wonderful day. We're going to get into a lesson here, so buckle up and let's do this. Okay, so the premise of tonight's video and lesson, not only are we going to dissect these trades and tell you the hows, the whys, but we're going to talk about basically why strategy will prevail always. Okay, so I have a very simple strategy. It's no secret what the strategy is if you're paying attention to this channel. It's very simple support and resistance. I keep my strategy simple. Now, if I am above support, I will go long. If I am below resistance, I will go short. Now, one of the biggest issues that a lot of new and struggling traders have is they will pick and choose their trades. They will tell themselves like, I think that's going to do this, or I think that's not going to hold support, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, it tags that support and rips. It happens all the time. And then what ends up happening is you end up chasing or you're missing trades. Long story short, if you don't work strategy every single time, you're going to have random results. And it's one of the hardest things that I've found through the last 8 years on YouTube here is getting through to people, and with running my service, is getting through to people how important strategy is. We don't dictate what trades we take. The market does. And if the market says, take that trade, take it. That's it. It's very simple. So today's a great example of that. So let's go over both of these charts. So below here, we have Qs. Okay. Above, we have SPY. For those of you that are just joining us, these blue charts on the left-hand side, those are the daily chart. If you don't have your daily chart up that you can readily see it as you are day trading, you have lost the plot. You're missing a key component to this. And it doesn't matter what strategy you have. That is absolutely crucial to your success. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, these blue levels that you see represent technical support and resistance levels that I am watching, that I have now developed a trade plan at 9 a.m. So 30 minutes prior to the market open, I already know what I'm going to do. No matter what I'm going to do, that's what I'm going to do. That's what the market is dictated for me to take. And I said I'm going to take it. I will take it. Okay, so that's key here. So let's talk about Qs. So Qs at the open was going to open below resistance. SPY was going to open. There was some support. Okay. So it is above support. So we have a little bit of confliction on these charts, right? One is telling us to go short and one is telling us to go long. And what a lot of times what will happen is people will pick and choose what one to take, and that's fine. You don't need to take every single trade, but they'll also tell themselves things like, oh, it's not going to hold, or it's going to do one thing or another. You can't do that. That goes against everything that is strategy. Okay, strategy needs to be pure. No matter what it's telling you to do, you do it. We need to take the human element out of it because the human element is an emotional element. You see what I'm getting at? And that's why strategy is so crucial. So to clean this chart up, and now, of course, the back out button doesn't work yet again. Let's talk about Qs. So Qs was first to trigger. So again, we opened up below. As it comes up into that, we are looking to go short. So it tests this level multiple times. Now, you're going to look at this and you're going to say, well, that trade didn't work. And you're right. It didn't work. But guess what? Because of the way that I pay myself and this strategy, I will always pay myself, no matter what, into the first level of support. Even if This level of support is nil. Okay. Now, it doesn't look like much, but it's actually a fair bit. It's from 604.89 up to 605.50. So you actually have quite a bit there to work with. And when you're trading with options, you don't need that much. But a lot of the time, someone will go short here and they will not pay themselves until down here. We actually had a case of that, a similar case of that, but on the long on SPY, where a member had an absolutely fantastic entry, but they didn't pay themselves to here, which is completely wrong. But they're a new member. I went over it and hopefully he learns and now he'll make those adjustments. But because we're below, I am going to execute. When it falls into that first level of support, I'm going to pay myself. Okay. That's essentially what I've done. That was on the first trade. And then I'm continuing. I add back in because I'm working this chart. And every single time it tests that, it's telling me a story. It's not breaking down. That's why you're seeing all of those exits right there. I know this has high odds of failure because SPY is above support. And it looks like Q's was waiting for SPY to get that little bit higher, which is exactly what it did. So if you take a look at when Q's finally broke out of that very close resistance, it's when SPY pushed through. That's all it was waiting for. So even though if you look at Q's, this trade, 99% of you will look at this and say that is a failed trade. And you may be right. But because of how I trade and my strategy, I still locked in $1,211. That pays the bills, folks. Now, is it a grand slam trade? Nope. Don't care though. This is how you see the consistency that you do on this channel. It's how I pay myself. It's how I manage these positions. And that's what I can teach you. So I went short on Qs. It is a failed trade where I still locked in. At the same time, like I said, SPY is above support. When it opens, dips into that support, I'm taking that without hesitation. And here are the entries on SPY. As it comes down very quickly into that level, I execute. I want to get my size in. Now, SPY opened up all moving averages and that previous close. That's a really good sign. And if you take a look at the daily chart, there's really nothing stopping it. The only thing in its way is this first level of resistance, but it's behind multiple walls. It's behind multiple walls, right? So it's valid, but it's not something you're overly going to worry about. Now, the law of natural movement, it's going to come up and pull back. And that's what I was waiting for as well. So I get my initial entry in. I'm going to clean this up a little bit for you guys. So I get my initial entry. When it pops up into resistance, what do? I pay myself because that's what I have to do. That's what my strategy dictates. When it's going to come into resistance, it is then going to pull back. Guess what? That's an opportunity to add into the position, which I took it. We are over all technical resistance. Add in and then reap the rewards. So this trade from best entry to best sell was roughly 100% and locking in $4,782 on that trade. So one failed trade where I still locked in over $1,000 and one trade that worked. Both traded to strategy. They're both equal trades. Just because one trade you made more, it's another issue that a lot of new and struggling traders have is they'll determine the success of the trade based off of the P&L, which is a horrible mistake that's only going to lead to failure. So I see all of this sort of shit happen constantly on social media, on other people that are supposedly professional traders that are teaching this shit. And if you are learning from anyone that is basically telling you that making money is the most important thing in your trading, then you need to get the fuck out of there because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're truly not a professional trader. That's how it is. So, on that note, folks, I'm going to rock and roll. This was a beautiful day, and it just goes to show that strategy will always win. You will always win trading strategy. The only time you won't win is when you deviate from strategy. So, if you want to learn how to come do this, come to tricktrades.com. If not, enjoy the free stuff. That's why it's there, but you will spin your fucking wheels forever. But that's up to you. That's your choice. So if you want to spin your wheels, that's why free stuff is there. That's why YouTube exists, because it's free shit. So have fun with that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great and wonderful evening. Adios.